I'm Dr. Wendy Dees. I'm the U Online Program Director for the Masters in Sport Administration. I'm also a faculty member and I teach the sport marketing course in the master's program. And then you'd also have me for the sports sponsorship class. I've been here at the University of Miami now for 11 or 12 years. Have been teaching marketing and sponsorship at Miami on campus and online for quite some time. That's my role in the program. And then I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Martin. He's going to introduce himself. And then we'll just start talking with you a little bit about the program and giving you as much great information as we can and answering all your questions. Dr. Martin?
Thank you, Dr. Dees. I appreciate it. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Taiwan Martin. Similar to Dr. Dees, I've been here. Actually, we like to believe that we came here at the same time with LeBron. We brought our talents from various places down here to Miami. He left, we stayed, and we're happy to be here. I teach the intro to sport course, as well as the sport information course in the graduate program. I originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and quite happy to be in much warmer climates than that is back home in Wisconsin. So similar to what Dr. Dees mentioned, feel free, you all, to ask any questions you may have about the program. We're happy to answer them. Certainly know that for some of you, the online process may be quite different. We're happy to share, and we will share exactly how and what that looks like. But please, I don't think that there is such a bad thing as a silly or bad question. Feel free to drop whatever questions you have in the chat, and we will do our very best to answer them for you. So I think I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Dees, and then we'll go from there. You're muted, Dr. Dees.
I just want to share a little bit about the program for everyone. I'm sure you've all done your research and know a lot about the program to this point. But just to share a little bit about the program, and then Dr. Martin and I will talk about some of the unique aspects of the program and benefits. We get asked all the time from students, which it's usually their number one question. It's a great question. You know, why U Online? Why this program? If you have all of these options that you're considering, you know, what is it about this program that is so special or unique or will help you reach your career goals and aspirations? So when this program was designed years ago, it was designed with the student in mind and with a professional student in mind. So what I mean by that is we wanted to develop a fully online program that you could access anywhere. We wanted the program to be flexible and meet the needs of students that were either working or have families or kids or a busy lifestyle. We know everyone would probably love to come to Miami with Dr. Martin and I and the faculty and LeBron back in the day, but that's not possible for everyone. And so, you know, we wanted this degree to be accessible for everyone who wanted to use this, you know, educational opportunity to change the trajectory of your career and hopefully your life. So all of the classes are 7 weeks, and every single week you have the opportunity to complete all of the modules at your pace. You can complete those from anywhere. The faculty are accessible to you anywhere. The 10 courses that you complete at the 3 credit hours, the 30 credit hour program, it's something that you can complete in about a year and a half's time. which is really great considering that we know students want to get this degree and get into the workforce as soon as possible. Also, taking one course at a time, students find that that's very manageable and they can focus on one topic and really delve into that. And it's very manageable. So the program is just designed with you and your flexibility and your aspirations in mind. So that's just a little bit about the program. But in terms of the unique factors and why an online degree from the University of Miami, I don't think you will find a faculty that has more industry experience. Everyone on our faculty has their terminal degree, they have their PhD, they have their law degree, but every single one of us has worked in the industry. So we've been in your shoes where we wanted to get in the industry and work, and we've done that. There's also, so many connections that we have here in the University of Miami and in the city of Miami with all of the sports teams that we have access to. And also being a global university, we have access to sport organizations all over the world. So we really have the ability and the connections to get you in touch with the types of people that would hire you. We have industry folks and guest speakers in the classroom all the time that we give you access to from wherever you are. And there are just so many ways that we can get you connected to the practical experiences that you need, to work in sport and get your foot in the door. And I'll let Dr. Martin talk about, some of the other benefits of the program, like the accessibility of the faculty and the practical projects and just some other things that are going to be really beneficial for you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Dees. To just sort of reiterate what Dr. Dees mentioned, I like to believe that our program, especially when you talk about faculty, we take a student-centric approach to the program. We certainly understand that for many of you, this is a new experience, the virtual/online experience. We also understand that many of you are in various roles, whether it be in sport or outside of sport. You have your lives, and we are certainly conscious and aware of that. So with that being said, I believe that we as a faculty, we are invested in our students. We take tremendous pride in making sure that the students that come through our program are best equipped once they complete the program to go out in the world, or better yet, in the sport world, and sort of claim your role or claim your position, if you will, in the industry. So one of the things that, or I should say, one of the many things that we like to do is personal contact. I am the first. I'm the leadoff, if you will, for the program. So I do as best as I possibly can to make sure that in this virtual world that there is that I'm a contact, that students can reach out to me, whether it be by phone, Zoom, or email, and just making sure that everyone is comfortable and aware of the expectations of the program. I've done that from the very beginning, and I'm confident, just based on conversations and I believe the success of our program, that other colleagues do similar things. We like to connect with our students. We like to make sure that our students can be in contact with us, that any questions, thoughts, ideas that individuals may have regarding some of the topics that are covered in class, the assignments, whatever the case may be, it is our goal, it's our sort of responsibility, if you will, to do our best to make sure that you all are clear on what the subject matter is, and should you need to get a hold of us, that we're available to you. So we try to make the intangible tangible, if you will, by being student-centric in our approach to the program. So I take tremendous pride in that, and I know my colleagues do as well. And it's something that you all, should you decide to enroll in our program, will experience throughout the duration. So that's sort of our approach. We're very student centric in everything that we do.
So we have a couple of questions in the chat, and they kind of extend what we were just talking about. So I saw one question asking about, what career paths are available to students with this degree, and then another question about how we'll support you in getting access to internships and those careers that you're looking for. So I just want to touch on those very quickly because they're really important. So our master's degree is essentially like a specialized business degree, like a specialized MBA. So essentially, it's going to train you for any business role in the front office of a sport organization. So whether you want to work in high school athletics, college athletics, a professional front office, Olympics, if you want to work on the agency side of things, we have a lot of students who end up representing players. If you want to work on the event management or operation side of things and physically be behind the scenes putting on events, we have students work at the league level, whether it's professional leagues, or we have students working for conferences or like the Orange Bowl or the College Football Playoff Committee. So kind of at the governing body level. Really anything that you want to do that intersects business and sport, this degree will prepare you for that. And you'll have, legal classes that can help you on the agency side of things. So there's a lot of things that you can do with the degree. And in terms of how we connect you to internships and jobs, which is an incredibly important question. So whoever asked that, kudos to you. One of the biggest things that we do here at is we put on our University of Miami Sport Industry Conference every spring. It's actually coming up virtually in April this year. Normally it's on campus, and all of our U Online students are invited to attend that. All of our U Online students are, invited to attend anything that on campus that we do for our students. But our big sport industry conference in the spring is used to kind of be a launching pad to get all of our students, our on-campus grad students and our online students, a big push into the industry, right toward the end of the degree or leading into the summer when the job market is usually very busy. And we invite anywhere from 50 to 100 sports business executives from all over the world to come to campus and speak on all the major topics that are important in the sport industry. There's networking opportunities. There are panel discussions. There are individual speakers. There's opportunities to hand out, resumes to these folks to get feedback on, your preparation and the things that you need to be doing to get ready to go into the industry. So we put on that conference for all of our students. Professor Paul Resnick is our internship director. And here at we have him in a specific role designed just to help students who are wanting support in finding internships and entry-level jobs. We have a Facebook page that's a closed page that's just for our students. That basically gives access to nothing but internship and volunteer and job opportunities for all of our students. And so there's always tons of information being put there. And then I think Dr. Martin also, said it best that your faculty are accessible. And I think, the session tonight demonstrates that you have 2 faculty members, here that are willing to talk to you and work with you. And they're all going to be accessible, even though your degree is online. So I think the biggest thing that we pride ourselves on is we want our Online students to feel no different than our campus students. You're going to have access to the best education, the best opportunities, all the same connections to the folks in the industry that our campus students have. You have access to campus activities. It's Miami is your home once you're a student, and you can come here anytime and get access to all the same resources. And so, we're just your lifeline to all of that while you're online.
A- and I'll just add to what Dr. Dees was mentioning in terms of our program. One of the things that we take great pride in is the idea that yes, this is an online program, but the same resources that are available to individuals that are on campus are available to our our online students. As a matter of fact, given this COVID situation, one of the things that I've really encouraged students to do is to take advantage of, in terms of my class, is to really use my class to get in front of professionals that they have, or an area that they have an interest in. So interviews is one of the things that I really encourage students um, to utilize as a way to get in front of those individuals that they have an interest or see themselves in that role in the future. It has paid significant dividends, certainly at the undergraduate level. And I'm finding it now at the graduate level, it being a wonderful resource to reach out to those who are, again, in areas that one may see themselves in the future. It's a fantastic way to connect. It's a fantastic way to create, or better yet, enhance your network, is by doing an interview with individuals, again, that you may see yourself in that role in the future. Dr. Dees, you're going to say something?
Yeah, we got a couple more questions in the chat. So Santiago and Spencer, welcome. Thank you for your great questions. So one of the questions was about, minorities in our program. Another fantastic question. Another thing that's very unique about the University of Miami, whether you're online or on campus, is we're a very diverse student group, a very diverse faculty, and we're very proud of that. And the University of Miami, is always at the forefront of, diversity and inclusion and belonging and all of those types of things. So our demographics are very diverse. If you want the actual breakdown of those numbers, that would be a question sent to our U Online team if you want those numbers. But I can just tell you from teaching the folks in my classes that we have people of all different ages. We have people of all different races. We have people from all over the world. We have a lot of folks who are serving in the military, and we love that. We're very proud of our service members and thankful for them. And we're so happy that they trust us, to provide their education, either during or after their service. So that's a great question. But I think you'll find that there's a lot of different viewpoints, a lot of different perspectives that your classmates will bring to the classroom with you. Your faculty are also diverse. So, we have a lot of different experiences from where we've worked in the industry, where we've come from. All of our educational institutions are very diverse. So I think you'll get a lot of unique perspectives throughout the program, from your colleagues, your peers, your faculty. And if you visit the campus, you'll certainly physically see all the diversity in Miami and on campus. And then the other question about internship hours, and I'm glad, that you guys brought that up. The one thing that we do not require in our online program is an internship. And the reason we don't require it is because if everybody is studying from all over the world, it's difficult to require folks to do an internship in that type of setting. Also, because we designed the program to be for professional students, a lot of people are already working, which would make it very difficult for folks to set aside a career that they've already started, or a job that they're using to pay the bills, to do sometimes an unpaid or a lower paid internship. So that's why I think what Dr. Martin said is critically important. We find other ways to connect you to the industry. either helping you, do informational interviews, connect with folks at the conference. We've had quite a number of our U Online students who are in the Miami area. We've connected them with folks in our athletic department or around Miami to do internships. I've had students who are in other parts of the country reach out to me and say, I want to do an internship. Can you help me find something in my area? And we've helped, place people and get connected, wherever they are. So certainly if you want to do an internship and you want to get involved in the industry with volunteer work or a formal internship, we can certainly help you with that, but we don't require it due to the professional aspect of the degree. But that's a great question.
And Wendy, we have another question for us pertaining to partnerships in the industry. I'll say this, I'll happily take this question. One of the things, again, many things that we pride ourselves on in this program is the relationship that we have with sport organizations in the South Florida area. I would put us up against any university in the country when it comes to relationships that we've built with sport organizations in South Florida. It is one of the strongest, if not the best in the industry. From the Panthers just north of us to the Speedway that's south of us in Homestead, Miami. It is absolutely phenomenal, the connections that we have been able to build over the time that Wendy and I have been here at the university. Much of that credit goes out to our colleague, Professor Paul Resnick, who's done an amazing job to connect us with industry folk and strengthen those relationships. It is.
I'll
Go
just add to that, Ty, because we don't just have relationships with everyone in Miami. We have wonderful relationships with all the sport organizations in South Florida, but we have relationships with teams and leagues worldwide. And in fact, we're right now just launching a partnership with La Liga. They're actually going to be heavily involved with our virtual sport industry conference in April. Dr. McNary, who is our event management and global sport expert, she's building that relationship with La Liga, and we're going to be working closely with them. They've actually requested to have some of our students intern with them, so there are international opportunities there. We're building an esports program. We're building that in conjunction with Riot Sports and League of Legends, and so we're working with David Higdon with Riot Games to try to create as much content as possible around the business of esports, so that if students want to get training on that, to be able to enter the esports industry, they could do that. We're also on the front edge of a partnership with NASCAR, where they want to specifically work with our graduate students and give them sales and marketing training to come directly into motorsports, so that they can hire students on, who graduate from the University of Miami, and they want to provide, training for them so that they're ready for jobs in motorsports. So, we have tons of connections in South Florida, but really, Miami has partnerships domestically, globally, that get our students into a lot of different areas. We're not just preparing you to go into the Big Four professional sports. If you want to do that, that's wonderful. But we really want to make sure our students have education and experience and opportunities around the globe. So there's really no shortage of partnerships and industry experience that you can get, while you're working on your degree. And then absolutely, once you already have that piece of paper in your hot little hand.
So in other words, while the classroom piece we believe is excellent, we also support it with the practical piece as well, you all. So It's a really great balance that we try to have here at with our U Online program in terms of course, information in the classroom that's going to help one be successful in the industry, and then the ability to connect with individuals in the sport industry, whether it be here in South Florida or internationally, as again, the partnerships that Wendy just spoke about, that we are now connecting, or better yet, strengthening as we speak. So it really is a overall comprehensive sort of program or approach that we take in terms of educating students that come through our program.
If you have more questions, now is a great time, because Dr. Martin said he'll stay all night long. He has no plans. He doesn't really go out. He's just here for you. So if you guys have more questions, let's go. We're ready.
And as you all can see, Dr. Dees is a comedian, so go ahead.
Okay, so we have a great question from Chuck, who says he is retiring soon from being an airline pilot. So number one, Chuck, congratulations. That's
Absolutely.
amazing. And are you wasting your time to try this career? So I don't think that anyone who is trying to further their education and change careers and who's still motivated to work at 61 is wasting their time. In fact, I think that makes you someone, very unique. And I think that's probably one of the most admirable things that I've ever heard, that someone wants to work on a different degree at this point in life. So what I would say is that while you're working on your degree, Chuck, if you do that with us, then I think it's important to, talk about your skill set and the types of things that are transferable to the sport industry, and what you want to do and where you think you would be a good fit. And then to work to help you get the connections to, that area of the industry, or the type of people that you need to get, connected to while you're working on the degree. So I know that's something that that I do, with my students, while they're in my classes. When we're going through my marketing class or sponsorship class, if my students say to me, oh, this is something I'm really interested in, or this is an area I want to go into, can I talk to you about, how I could get moving in that direction? I set up time to talk to my students, because I think it's important, to start making those connections and making those moves while you're working on your degree. And, the sooner we can help you get connected to the kind of folks who, need the type of experience that you have and the skills that you have, the better off that you'll be. So you don't have to wait until the degree's over to then try to determine, next steps. But no, I certainly don't think that, a certain age disqualifies you. I think, in fact, there's a lot of people at the very top in the sport industry who are, that age or well beyond. So clearly that experience and longevity is very important in our world. So we would be lucky to have you.
Absolutely. And shout out to you, Chuck, for retiring soon and considering our program. We appreciate that. There was a question about specific skills in the industry. I'll say this, particularly in my sport information course, one of the things that perhaps you all are seeing a lot of today are issues as they relate to sport and the crises that happen as a result of those issues. One of the things that in the course, in my courses, I really try to stress is the idea of being conscious and aware of crisis communications and how valuable that is, and how valuable of a skill set that is to understand in terms of working in the sport industry. Crises, unfortunately, are going to continue to happen, and being prepared for them is critically important. Certainly in the sport industry and even outside of the sport industry, to be quite honest with you. But it's one of the things that I really try to focus in on with respect to one of the classes that I teach, because of how frequent these issues come up in the industry. So there will be information, or better yet, coursework that deals in that area specifically. And I personally believe that that it definitely helps students to better understand the value and importance of understanding crisis communication.
Okay, we've got a couple more questions that I think we can answer fairly quickly. I want to make sure we get to them because they're also really great. Spencer says, are there any courses specifically for women's sports in the curriculum? So I will say specifically, no. However, you will have 4 female professors, myself, Dr. Mullane, Dr. McNary, Professor Zovko, who's your sports law expert, our resident attorney on staff. And so you're certainly going to get the perspective, again, like I said before, there's a lot of, diversity, within our program and within our student body. So you're certainly going to get the perspective of what it's like to be a female working in the sport industry, because 4 of us have been there, but you'll get the perspective from a lot of different angles with our faculty and our students. And like I said, we definitely like to talk about diversity and inclusion and the different experiences you'll have throughout the sport industry, depending on what perspective you're coming from. Is the degree thesis based? It is not. There's not a thesis option or a thesis requirement, but what I will say is we've had a number of our U Online master students show an interest in research and then want to pursue a PhD when they're done. And we've absolutely worked with those students on an independent basis. So if you have an interest in research, once you get in the program, just reach out to us and let us know. And we've placed several of our U Online students in PhD programs. And actually just recently we had our first U Online master student who went on to get his PhD. He just recently graduated with his doctorate and got a university teaching job. So this can certainly take you down that path as well. And we would all love to work with you on that if you're interested. Another question, the program, the question is, the classes are asynchronous, are any that are live? So the quick answer to that is no. The program is fully asynchronous again, so that it fits with a professional student's schedule and lifestyle. However, we think there's the best of both worlds because the classes are asynchronous, but you can meet with us like this on Zoom at any time. Yes, there are group projects. You'll get to work with all of your teammates from around the country, from around the world. But if you need to meet with your teammates or have the professor, meet with your project group to help you, we're always available. So you can work through the classes asynchronously at your own pace, but we are always here to, be with you live if you need our support. But yes, you would be collaborating with students on group projects, outside of the classroom. So there's a nice asynchronous and synchronous component that allows you, to kind of work through the program in a convenient, flexible manner. And then this one might be a good one to end on. Dominic has a great
Yes,
question here. What
great
advice
question.
would you give from a personal standpoint that could help students be successful in the program? What's one of the most important things that students can gain? So I'll give you my feedback and then Dr. Martin can give his, and then we'll wish everyone a good night and hope that we see your application. So I think the number one thing that I see with students, or I would say a kind of misconception that students have, is that an online program is going to be easier. That's like the biggest misconception, that if you do it online instead of on campus. And so usually in the first course, which Dr. Martin teaches, he sees that students kind of, don't take their studying and their writing and their reading of the materials as seriously as they did when they were on campus, maybe as undergrads, because like I said, this misconception that because it's online, maybe it will be easier, or, oh, I have access to my materials during an exam, so it's going to be easier. And some students struggle. So I would say the best thing that you can do to be successful in the program is enjoy the fact that it's online and convenient and flexible, but treat it as if it's a campus-based class, with your studying and your writing, and managing, your time. And the more you treat it like you would be in the classroom, the more successful that you will be. And also, if you do find yourself struggling, reach out to your professors or your advisors right away. It's nothing to be upset or ashamed about. We're much more able to work with you early on if you're struggling, and we can help you, than if you wait until the class is over and you've already received a grade that's not good. So that would be my advice, and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Martin, and he can close us out.
Yeah, and I'll echo similarly to what Dr. Dees just mentioned. I think I think what happens sometimes with students, or better yet, the best advice I can give is this, is to keep pace with the course, right? The readings, the materials, obviously the discussions, the journals, the quizzes that you'll have throughout the week. It's really just keeping pace. So finding time to make sure that you read the materials to best serve you when you answer or respond to a discussion post, when you complete a quiz. I think that is critically important to the success in the course. In addition, as Dr. Dees mentioned, because I'm sort of the lead off in the program, one of the things that I try to do is prepare folks for what they can experience throughout the program. So in other words, at the undergraduate level, there may not be a requirement or much of an emphasis, if you will, on supporting your thoughts and ideas with evidence. And one of the things that I really strongly encourage throughout the first class, and then obviously when you get me later on in the program, it's supporting your thoughts and ideas with evidence, whether that evidence comes from the course materials or supportive materials that you found researching the topics that are built into the modules that you'll complete work in. So it's really keeping pace, and again, supporting your thoughts and ideas with evidence, with credible evidence, that is. So newspapers, magazines, even academic research is certainly important. And quite honestly, part of the reason why that's done is because even in the sport industry, it's a copycat industry. And if presenting an idea to a professional, it's or better yet, presenting an idea that you would like the sport organization that you work for to embark upon, using evidence or past evidence of it working in the past can certainly support the idea that you may present to a superior. So that's my recommendation. Those are my thoughts on how best to succeed in this program. I certainly hope that was helpful. And the things that we said tonight, we're hopeful that they have helped you in terms of your decision to enroll in the program. So certainly looking forward to seeing some of you, if not all of you, in the future. And we really appreciate you all.
Yes, thank you everybody so much for coming. We hope to see your application, and even more so, we hope to see you in our classes really soon, and we wish you the best of luck on your educational and your career journey.